Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. I hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. Alright, guys, so this is now the 6th day that SPY is consolidating in a range 5 points underneath all-time highs. Okay, there is nothing bearish about that. I'm going to come down to the 4-hour real quick. This is SPY. This is the S&P 500. Consolidating in a bullish manner here. This is the 6th session we did so. Okay. Right underneath all-time highs. They're probably about to bring it up to all-time highs. The 4-hour RSI has not gotten overbought along this run yet. We know it's going to get overbought at some point and probably going to align with that thing heading up to all-time highs. So, you know, same thing over here in the indices, guys. You know, IWM actually did head up to a new all-time high today, or just missed it within, pennies there. It got 252.66. You have 252.77 over here. By 11 cents, you missed it. That's likely also going to be happening here in the short term. I've kind of pointed out the last few videos how, you have the MAGS ETF here. It's set up for a push to all-time highs. You have, equal weight S&P 500 here. It's also looking like this thing finally wants to break out from this range here and push on to all-time highs. This has been consolidating here for, 3.5 months now. Looks like it's about to head up to all-time highs. These are the components that make up the S&P 500 here. If you have, the big boys and the small boys looking like they're going to be rallying, they're probably everything is probably going to rally. I'm referring it to as the everything rally. And then combine those, you have IWM. This is your, small caps over here. These are the higher beta names. These are, the risk capital in the market. When it's flowing, these are the names it likes to come into. Everything, I'm just saying, we're about to have, a face ripper rally here, and I don't think people realize what's about to happen. We're about to see S&P 500 go to 7K, SPY to $700. I really do think we're about to see a pretty sick ass rally here, and I think Meta over here, congratulations if you caught the gap up this morning. All right, this is the one we've been pounding the table on. This is the Mag 7 stock to be focusing on right now. Okay, I hope you took things off of me right off the open there. Okay, it happened pretty quick, and that's why if the market's going to just give you, a little freebie like that, you should take it. I didn't think the thing was going to go to 680 this morning. It didn't open 680, 685 like it was in the pre-market, but there wasn't a single part of me that was factoring that, and that's not why I was trading it. That's not why I was top watch over here. We were patiently waiting for this thing, and it just set up for us, and it just so happened that the market gives you a freebie. You take advantage. You don't disrespect the market. You take the gift that the market's giving you, and you respect it. Okay, that's Meta over here. But there's going to be a lot of stocks that are recovering over here. Meta still has a long way to go. I think we're about to have a multi-week rally here, where SPY goes to $700, QQQ, dare I say 650. Okay, IWM at some point this is going to explode, and I think it's starting. Look at all this volume. Okay, you have inconsistent volume the whole entire time. You have a big cup, you have a big ass handle, and now you have big ass volume coming into the scene. This whole time you have inconsistent volume the whole entire time. You now are seeing them actually get behind this move, and it looks like they're about to be driving this thing higher. I'm just saying, everything looks like we're about to go higher, and people want to be bearish right now. You got no reason to, okay? I'm not saying don't take profits on things that are, giving you your moves. We've had a lot of nice moves this week. We had a lot of nice moves last week. It is what it is, okay? Top watch yesterday, guess what? For a move today was going to be Cipher. We wanted to see a little pullback to start the day, maybe a gap down. We want to see them take it over yesterday's high, 1877. What happened? Well, that breakout right there gave you, over a point move. You could have taken it right there. All right, we're getting some nice moves here. I'm going to outline some names at the, I'm going to highlight some names at the end of the video here after we go over the S&P 500 and NASDAQ and the Magnificent 7 stocks. But, really, guys, just realize this whole market, I think it's just heating up again, and people, are not realizing that. And, I know you've been in a frustrating environment here where every single pop seems to be getting sold, but this is a whole bunch of nonsense we got on the charts for 2 months now. I think that's about to end. And, actually, you've kind of been in the same area since all the way over here. How long is that? Almost 3 months. Okay. we are about to, leave this area. It looks like this weekly candle might expand tomorrow, 2 all-time highs. We might just gap up tomorrow. The 4-hour looks like it is ready to go. All right, so I'll go over the levels, but nothing changed from yesterday. Nothing changed from what we talked about in the weekly update there. We're still just watching. 685 is the key level on SPY here. QQQ 625. Both of them are stalling out right underneath them. Okay, SPY in this case for the 6th day, you're just consolidating it right underneath it. Still seeing those dips bought. 4-hour looks ready to rip. I'm gonna guess, yeah, the path of least resistance here is to the upside. Honestly, into end of week here tomorrow. Okay, they might actually send you up to new all-time highs. I know, crazy call, Henry. We'll see if it happens. But if not tomorrow, I mean, this looks like they want to just either give you this right here, which I've still been saying the whole time when we were pulling back over here. That's what we were watching. They just didn't bring it down there. I still think any move down there is going to be short-lived. We get bought pretty quick. Or they're just going to pop you out of this range, which it looks like to me, if I had to take a guess, they're just going to pop you over the next 1 to 2 sessions out of the range. My guess is it's going to be in this current weekly candle, which is only 1 session, and it's tomorrow, okay? So I'm not going to spend too much time going over things today. I'm just going to talk about some individual tickers in today's video because nothing has changed here, okay? Upside 685, 690, $700. Downside 678.74 underneath there. Watch 675.56. It's about it on SPY. QQQ 625 above 625, 637 all-time high. Downside 617.59. Take that out. You watch 612.52. Like I said, IWM guys, it's about to push new all-time highs. It's likely going to be done tomorrow, and if not, you have a few scenarios here where maybe it opens with a gap down over here and then takes out this high and then it pushes, higher next week. Or you reject right here, you pull back, and since you already made this equal high, this actually would be the 3rd test of the spot. It's very likely going to be a bought. So where's, that area we're going to look for buyers? It's going to be 244.46, 245. And then you look for that, So there's only a few ways this really is likely to go here from this point. I told you it would make it a lot easier on us once we just kind of broke some key levels here on SPY and QQQ. And, that level over here was this week's high over here on 675.56 on SPY. And QQQ, that level, all right, I don't have it marked anymore, but it's right over here. It is 614.03. And we took those out last week. Path is pretty clear. Okay, you're expecting dips to be bought into the moving averages, and then we push up the highs, or we're pushing up the highs, and I say we likely push up the highs. That's that. VIX, guys, it did end up making a new low. Ahead of time, we said if it makes a new low after this bounce over here, it's probably going to be aligned with SPY and QQ starting those pushes over those key levels, 685 and 625. We're right there. So, the call, it was almost right. We're right there. We just didn't, we're not pushing through it just yet like I was thinking. All right, but that is something that's going on. And the DIA also looks like, it's only a matter of time until this thing is going to hit new highs, which, honestly, maybe it does end up going like that. I'm just saying, you are expecting that dip. If it happens, it's real easy, guys. There's only 2 ways we can go from here. I mean, obviously, this thing could fall off a cliff. It's just, there's 2 likely scenarios here from here. They pull you back right around here, slightly higher, and then you get a dip by opportunity before highs. Or you just go up the highs, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna point out that I think they're probably about to pop you, and that's it. Okay, so as far as the Magnificent 7 stocks go, guys, Amazon's still doing a whole lot of nothing. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on these guys. Nothing really has changed here, and if there's not setups, I'm not really gonna talk about them. We don't have a reason to. Tesla over here, I'm not going to tell anybody to trade it, but I will point out it's testing the 0.786 fib with this, most recent move down right there on today's close. It closed right on it. Above there, you're going 474.07 and then 488.54. Hey, maybe it is about to take off, and this time it's going to be different. This thing, objectively speaking, this is a very bullish chart here. I don't know why people, would look at this and be like, Tesla looks like dog shit. It doesn't. It looks very good. But I'm still gonna remind everyone, 5 years now you've been in this range, this massive range, and every time you have one of these rallies, once the cloud flips red, you do, pretty much every single time, almost every time, like clockwork, you get back above the 21 and you may get that dead cat bounce. You don't take out the high before going. All right, you don't. You know, over here, you got back up. You didn't take out the high. And then you know, steadily rolled over. Over here, you didn't take out the high on the dead cat bounce. You actually stalled out right where we are right now at the golden pocket. I believe that was right at the 0.786. Yeah, we're literally right there. So, you know, I'm serious. They might slam you tomorrow on Tesla, but I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. I mean, it's not even that I'm going to be wrong. It's just like I'm going off of what has happened in the range here. If it happens, if it's going to be different, it's going to be different. You know, it's what I said in, you know, a previous video. I think it was in the weekly update there. You know, the only reason I would say get involved in this is if it breaks all-time highs. You could play that breakout move. It's probably going straight to like $600. You could tag along for that move. If it finally does break out of this massive structure, it's going to create a massive move. And you can go along for the ride. But, you know, this thing is full of traps. And we know how this thing has moved for 5 years now. I don't think it's worth arguing with it. Just leave it alone. There's so many other opportunities we're pointing out on a weekly basis, on a daily basis here. And you can easily take advantage of them with us as well. And that's that. Okay. Tesla above here, about 455, 474.07, then all-time high is 488.54. That's pretty much it. Okay, Microsoft starting to turn around. I pointed out yesterday, I thought it would probably just start, you know, consolidating here. I didn't think it was going to be doing a whole lot of anything. So far, that is what we got. Does this look like something you want to get long on? Please say no. There's no reason to. It's in a basing process right now, and you might as well just let it do its own thing. That's Microsoft. Okay, Google, guys, it got slammed a little bit today. I still want to say this thing is probably just building out another range here before it's setting up the new highs. I feel like that is going to be the case. Maybe it's going to look something like this crap we saw over here, right over here. You know, I think we're in the ending stages of this rally here, and that's good. All right, NVIDIA, guys, they're getting ready to pop it. I'm telling you, next week this should be a focus over here. If they could close it out above 184.48, that would be beautiful. All right, that's right at the daily 21. That's the key level that you got to flip back into support there. You want to get back above it. And then on the weekly, you have this bullish engulfing candlestick. So if they close you out like this, it makes next week easy. All right, you expect dips to be bought and you expect them to take this thing higher. You know, either you get something like that or you likely get continuation. It's one or the other. You're looking for it. Makes your job easy. Apple pulling back into where it broke out from recently at 277.32, guys. You know, quite a move up from there. All right, just almost that 12 points we were looking for. You just about got it. You were short by, you know, about a point there. Okay, but you just about got the exact move. All right, the measure move of this range. And now you're pulling back from there. Okay, I can't tell you if it's going to be bought over here. You have a mean upper wick here. So unless they save the weekly candle tomorrow, I would say just leave this guy alone. It's probably going to go through consolidation or start pulling back. You don't have to be involved in that. If you caught the move with me, if you're loading up in consolidation or you started, you know, playing it right at the breakout, right when I started pointing out, you know, top watch these days right over here became the top watch. There's that, you know, and then moving on. Oh, the top watch recently, Meta. Okay, Meta, META. Beautiful, guys. Absolutely phenomenal.
That was easy.
I hope you guys made some money. I made for an easy day today. An easy, nice ass day today, I will say. But yeah, I think they're probably going to continue pumping this thing. I think they might consolidate you. They might build out a little range. But my guess is, I think after that, you know, a little pullback is done here. Maybe it consolidates for a few sessions. I think they're probably going to continue bringing it up. And maybe they do it tomorrow. Okay, but I'm going to be looking for you to get above that weekly 21, which is currently around 680 right now. I want you to get above 680 there, and I want to see you base out above it. And, you know, we could just see the action that took place that week right there. All right, what did it look like? Well, you just consolidated the whole week. We want to see one of these guys. Picture perfect. And then we get ready for the next gap up. But, you know, I'll hit it one more time. Sometimes the market just gives you these freebies here. And, you know, yeah, we're here for the setup regardless. You know, we were looking for some nice action here. But really, I was looking to 660. Wasn't thinking you would yap up 675. Sometimes the market just wants to give you money and you don't disrespect it. It's a gift. If I give you a gift, you turn it down. I'm pissed off about it. If you give me a gift, I turn it down. You're pissed off about it. Don't you just take it when the market gives it to you, okay? All right. As far as individual tickers, guys, it's Lotto Friday tomorrow. Premiums are cheap. Gamble if you want, okay? But regardless, you could buy some time in these contracts. And you don't have to. I'm just saying, top Lotto Friday idea right here. CLSK, Cipher, NBiz. That's what I got for you, okay? Those are my top watches tomorrow for Lotto Friday. CLSK, I'm looking for this weekly candle to take out last week's high, 1554, and I think it might honestly get a decent pop going, and we might see 17 plus tomorrow. You have a nice little tight 5-day range going on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above the 21 EMA. The cloud has now flipped back to green. I think we are about to see a little pop action over here on CLSK, and it would make sense to me for them to do it tomorrow to make this, you know, expand over here, excuse-moi, to expand that weekly candlestick. It's just a little baby guy going on. It would make sense for them to pop you. The hiccups, they always want to come back, man. They always want to come back. Even when I'm trying to push through the video pretty quick. But I thought quick. That's probably what brings it in. But I don't know. Maybe I got a health problem. I don't think I got a health problem, but the hiccups come back, so maybe I do got a health problem. I don't know. Either way, Cipher over here, guys. Again,
that was easy.
There you go. Okay, so Cipher over here, guys, putting a hammer candlestick, pivoted up off of the daily 21 yesterday, and this was today's top watch for a move up. You know, Meta, obviously, we were watching for that, but, you know, I didn't know it was going to happen today. I just knew that, hey, Meta over here was consolidating above the 21 EMA. It looked ready to go any one of these days. It could have not went today. I was pretty sure it was going to happen into end of week. It was going to be a nice picture here. Again, this is actually the same thing I'm talking with CLSK, which I hope doesn't happen because I don't have a position in CLSK yet. So I hope this move presents itself intraday so I can take part in it instead of just having a big, fat, nasty gap up like Meta. Okay, you know, that was great. But if you're not positioning it, you can't take advantage of it. And then, boom, set up, you can't take advantage of it. It's just, you got to wait for the next time it sets up for you. Well, CLSK. Hopefully it happens today, tomorrow. I'm really liking this look over here. You got back above the weekly 21 and the daily 21. You're basing upon both of them right now. It's nice. Okay, it's nice. That's CLSK. Above 1554. We have 1623, but I'm really just thinking 17 plus. You're above 1554, target 17, and then 18 is going to be that golden pocket. That's where the 0.618 fib is, as well as a key level from over here. Okay. Cipher, CIFR. Okay. You have 2036 above. Take out 2036. We're talking 2116. It would not surprise me for them to pop this in the short term. Data centers are hot right now. They're even showing CRWV some love. Okay. Surprising. I know. Crazy stuff going on over here. All right. But you got CLSK. That's data center stock over here. Also Bitcoin mining stock. It's a hybrid, we'll call it. But yeah, it's setting up in the exact same way. We have Cipher over here. Okay, you got to love both of these. They got back above the 21, and then they retested, and they're pivoting up off of them. They both look like they want to rally here in the short term. I like CLSK's weekly chart. It suggests to me that it's probably going to get a move in the short term versus, you know, maybe Cipher makes this move next week, okay, or next 1 to 2 weeks. Whereas this bad boy, oh, baby, I could fully see this thing. Yeah, dude, give me 17 tomorrow. Let me get it. Let me get it going. We'll see what happens, okay? We'll see what happens. Either way, I'm looking for this move, if not tomorrow, next week, okay, on CLSK. But that Cipher, still watching, still a top watch over here. I'm watching for this move to all-time highs. That's what we're trying to catch next. You know, but again, you know, I'm pointing out a bunch of moves along the way. Please just make sure you take your profits and doing what you got to do. Okay, that's Cipher. NBiz, guys, we did get the daily close ever so slightly above 102.69. That was going to be our little trigger level we had to get above. All right, daily cloud is flipping back to green as of today. All right, or as of tomorrow, it's going to be back to green. But you're right about to do it there. But, you know, more importantly, you're testing this level again. You're getting a daily close right above it. They want to bring this up. Look at how the 4 hours consolidating over here. Okay, 4-hour RSI has not hit overbought territory. I'm guessing that is what is going to be coming next. But yeah, really liking the look over here on NBiz. You got the break and retest off previous all-time high. I think it's a name we should be focusing on right now. And that is that. Okay, that is NBiz. But again, you know, with a bunch of these data center stocks, that's really going to be today's, you know, video theme here. You know, Cipher, I've been pounding the table on it recently. CLSK here is another one. It's likely about to start moving. Okay, and NBiz also happens to be another one there. Just a bigger boy over here. Okay, this one is $25 billion market cap. Whereas these guys, well, CLSK is a little different from the rest, but 3 to 4 bill over here. Okay, so a little teensy bit different. Okay, ONs, expect these dips to continue being bought. I'm still looking for that move over 10. I think they might do in the short term, because you kept getting all this hot jazz around the short term moving averages over here. Okay, you keep getting these pumps into new highs, but it's ever so slight, and then you get back the whole move. Well, that happened a few times in here, and then boom, you slightly make new highs, and you pull back, get back a lot of the move, pull back to 21. This looks like it's probably about to actually drive it for a new high here, and I think we get 10 to 11 on this next little move up. Maybe they don't take us straight to all-time highs, but I really do think this is the next thing we're looking for here. All right, I think we're in that next leg right now. And I think we might get a pullback next week, but after that pullback, it might just go to all-time highs. All right, not all-time highs, 1170, recent highs. Okay, so that's ONs. Hood, I'm just going to highlight. I think this is a name that we should start focusing on again. It's time. It lost the 21 on the weekly. It's reclaiming the 21. We're now going to expect dips to be buying opportunities. If we see dips, we're going to expect them to be bought. I'm looking for a move up to all-time highs. It's probably honestly going to happen here in the short term, but really the key thing I can point out here is those dips. Okay, the dips, the consolidation periods. I'm not telling you have to blindly buy it right now. Okay, don't get mad at me if you blindly buy and the thing starts consolidating you. I can't tell you, what's going to exactly happen. What I can tell you is it's likely going to be making a move up to all-time highs here and then having a next leg up. It looks like this is ready to do what it did over here and what it did over here. And you can see it did go through this process. See that whole monthly candle there, the long upper shadow, upper wick right there, and then very narrow body. You moved up and you moved back down there. There's consolidation. That's all I'm pointing out. I don't know exactly how it's going to be moving, but I am going to look for this move into new highs and then look for that move to continue once we get it. Okay, above 153.86. I'm going to just give a general target here, 170. Okay, that's what we're going to be aiming for. Likely going to go higher than that, just judging by the look of it. But I am just going to say, okay, we'll take it as we go. If we get consolidation on the smaller time frame, I will be pointing it out. And we'll see if we can pull some money out of this guy over here on Hood on this next move. We just need our piece of the pie. All right, but that is Hood. I'm going to point out Rivian. I don't think it's going to be moving right now. Okay, I think it actually pulls back, and I don't think it's going to have this crazy move up this week. Okay, maybe they close it right here. I do think it's going to continue next week and take out 1886 though, and maybe it goes a little crazy. I'm not personally playing this one. I don't trust this one. I really don't. It does not move how I like my stocks moving at all. This is not, over here. It's hard to pull out an edge, in my personal opinion, on stocks to trade like this. And yeah, I don't trust it. This thing has been range bound for years. We'll see about it. Okay, not range bound for years. Every bounce has been sold for years, I should say. Since 2022 over here, it's been trying to bounce, and it just hasn't. So just keep that in mind if you are trading the stock. Now, that being said, it's strictly chart-wise here. This looks beautiful on the monthly. I could see this thing continuing. It could have a big month here and maybe get 21, 22 bucks. I'm just saying I'm not going to participate in it, but I know some of you guys like to trade this name, and it's definitely looking, I'll point out the breakouts as they're here. Okay, it's a really clean chart. It looks like it's about to have a base breakout here of 1886 over the next 1 to 2 weeks. So pay attention to it if you'd like. Okay, that's Rivian, RIVN. All right. Aside from that, guys, I got LAC over here. TMC, it already started popping off not too long ago. Now you have USAR popping off, okay, with the big 25% move today. Precious metals, rare earths, whatever you want to call these guys, rare earths, precious metals, rare metals, whatever you want to call them, I don't care. They are popping off one by one here. And I am just saying, LAC over here, this was the government's pick, if I am remembering correctly. Regardless, I like the chart over here. You got the break and retest off of, the base I was watching ahead of time. You're not breaking above it. You got the retest. It also happens to be you retesting the daily moving averages ahead, above them now after rejecting over here. This is exactly what you want to see. I think this might be the next one to go, and the weekly candle has not really moved over here and makes me think they might give you a nice little pump. Okay, right now it kind of looks like that down here. Imagine they give you that. Okay, imagine they do some crazy things. All right, so I'm just saying some of these guys are starting to go. LAC is one I was watching ahead of time. I think it's probably about to start moving with the pack. So put it on your radar if you like. Okay. Lyft, LYFT. I just want to highlight the weekly chart here, the weekly and monthly. Big base break and retest going on here. Okay. All up in this area. Weekly, you could see a little flag, pennant, whatever you want to call this. It's bullish consolidation right at the top of your base. It looks like this is preparing for a much larger move over the next 1 to 2 months. Okay. So you might see me point this out a few times on the smaller time frame, which in this case is the daily. But yeah, really the weekly and monthly, this is where the setup here, it's higher time frame. It's going to take time to play out, but it's definitely one that is setting up here. Now, a chart that looks exactly like this, just you're further along this move. So right now, Lyft is right here. Okay, Lyft is pretty much right here. Like if you just want to come over here, okay, look at these two charts. You see Lyft? Okay, are you ready? Same thing, okay? I was trying to do a quick there so you could pay attention. But yeah, either way, this looks exactly like how Lyft does right now. It's just in the later stages of said rally. This looks like this monthly candle can take out that high this month. And if it does, this might bring the move to 100 plus. You have, very sexy consolidation going on here. Look at the monthly. Okay, it looks like you have a solid, last month there. You have straight consolidation so far this month. Well, look at the weekly. They've contained it really well. All right. This thing looks like this is getting ready to rip. It's getting tight. It looks like over the next 1 to 2 weeks, this thing might be taking out 83.77, and I would say 100 plus is incoming. That's lemonade. Okay. And that's what I have for you guys today. I will just point out 2 bonus charts here. Okay. GS, just know this thing likes to pull back every step of the way. That's how it likes to trade. I do think it's going higher next week, but do not be surprised if you see this pullback into 825 before it happens. Okay, that's GS. Weekly is really what I want to highlight over here. And this monthly chart, look at that candle. It looks like it is about to expand during the month of December, which is this month. Newsflash. BE, last bonus chart right here. Okay. It is starting to pop today. You had a nice 15% move. Daily cloud is about to flip back to green. You have volume, nice volume on the day. I do just want to say you pulled perfectly back to the weekly 21. Found buyers there 2 weeks there. Okay. And you have this beautiful, little base action going on here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. Okay. However you want to call this. It's looking beautiful. It's looking like this thing is probably going to start its move back. Like it's starting its move back up the highs. It looks like it's going to be moving up to the highs. The move is starting. Dips, we're going to treat them as buying opportunities over here. If we can push higher, okay, and just kind of consolidate up here, that's something I'll highlight at the time. But this thing might honestly just kind of take off from here. And next week it might be at all-time highs. We'll see how this thing goes, but it looks like a monster in the making here on BE. All right. And that is what I have for you guys today. All right. Like I said, data centers, they're hot right now. Iron sold off, quite a bit not too long ago. It's just building out a giant base here. So this is definitely one I'm going to be watching for. I'm milking these data centers. Okay. If you have not noticed, these things are starting to heat up, and I'm here for it. This is one that's not going right now with the others, but I think this might be a move over 5406 that we get next week. Either way, I'm watching it. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, just please remember to leave a like. If you want to come trade with me, that link is going to be down below. I'm live every day. And yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night here, and I will catch y'all in the next one, which will be the weekly update. I hope you guys have a great Lotto Friday tomorrow. And peace.